So welcome back. We go straight to the quote for the day. The magic of cinema is the ability to transport people to different worlds and make them feel things they never thought possible. This is coming from Del Toro, right? And film is a powerful medium that extends beyond entertainment, playing a crucial role in shaping both cultural and political narratives. The multifaceted impact of cinema, tracing its historical evolution from the early 20th century works to contemporary films, cannot be overemphasized. Films have mirrored and influenced societal values, preserved cultural heritage, and challenged norms. Film, no doubt, have long been a cornerstone of modern culture, providing a window into the complexities of society and shaping our understanding of the world around us. From the early days of cinema to the present, film has played a significant role in reflecting and influencing cultural norms, values, and identities. And that brought us to the topic of discussion today, the role of film in shaping cultural narratives.
All right.
Like
I
said.
said earlier, our guest is in the studio to join us on this particular conversation. Our guest, who is young Chimezirim Charles, who he is a movie director. Of course, most times you know the actors, you know the people behind the scene doing the magic.
Yeah.
So he has joined us today in the studio to talk to us about everything that goes on in the movie industry. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Young.
Thank you very much.
It's really nice to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm
All
happy
right.
to be
So
here.
Yeah, thanks.
film, when we talk about movies, we always think of the big people, the big art, the popular faces, the big names. People don't really know people that make these things happen, that make the magic happen. How does that feel for the other crew members? People that,
Are not noticed or
you're
seen.
not noticed. It takes like a whole lot for you to break through and be heard, It takes maybe an award or something, a recognition.
For you to be noticed.
For you even noticed. And even afterwards, if you don't get another one, you may just die off. But you're always working behind the scene. How does it feel?
I think it's a path we have chosen, and we have to get used to it. I don't think it has to do with the feeling of a thing. It's has to do with your technicality. So behind the camera, we grow using technicalities, we grow using our skill, and I think as you grow and as you move, you get your fulfillment. So your fulfillment is not coming out to show, but yes, there are times that people recognize great filmmakers and they give you awards, like you said, and they invite you and they make you popular. Yeah, people may know the name, but they may not know the face. Sometimes it's better for us because we can still go out and buy the normal Okpa and Coke. But once an actor stops and says he wants to buy an Okpa and Coke, there's a large crowd and he always needs to get crowd control around him. So yeah, I think it's fine. Yes.
Yeah, and of course, I don't think the whole celebrity thing it's like a producer. It's not your own. It's not your excitement to be
It's
known.
another person's
The excitement
own.
is to make sure that your production is going successfully.
Exactly.
So as a movie director, I want to believe that your excitement is to make sure that your production is going smoothly. The actors and everybody is giving out the interpretations you expect them to.
Definitely, yeah.
That's where your own popularity comes, because people start to ask questions: who was the director of this movie?
Yeah.
But then let's get to find out from you, how does location affect the characters you're supposed to have in a movie? Because just like people say about products, if you produce your items in Nigeria rather, many people feel like it's inferior because it's in Nigeria. We have the fight between Aba actors and Lagos actors, so to speak. The angle I'm coming from is most of the actors in Lagos, not like they're all Lagosians, right? Yeah. But the fact that they are based over there, it kind of gives some kind of refined, like these people are well, they act well, they're professionals. And the ABBA actors, they're also very good. But there's this stigma attached to ABBA actors. I don't know. Does that affect your role as a director?
Not necessarily, not entirely. I believe we have actors. I don't know where they're coming from. We just have actors. But I think Lagos is Lagos because Lagos already has over 8 million people.
Okay.
So you have to fight hard to be seen. So that makes you work hard. That makes you train more. That makes you become better. If you come to, let's say, the East, Aba or Asaba or somewhere, most of them work hard. But because the competition is less, they don't work as hard as Lagos. So when they get to Lagos, they are like in a pool and they're wondering, oh my God, I didn't plan for this. You understand? So I think we have great actors even here in Enugu, everywhere. Most of them are not seen because they don't. Okay, for example, if I go to Lagos and I set up for an audition and I say audition starting by 9, by 8 o'clock you have like the door is full and everybody is waiting. But here, if you say you have an audition by 9, some people will be at home calling you, Hafa.
They don't start.
Where are these places?
Yeah,
I can go
yeah.
act now.
You understand? So these are the reasons why people go to Lagos, because Lagos seems to be more of an industrial hub. People understand what it is to shoot and make money and move and come out. Here you have people who are telling you, wait small for me now, let's do this. We can't wait, we are filming. You understand? So I think that's the difference. So I don't think it is a location thing. Most films you feel are Lagos films are shot even in Enugu.
Okay.
So what they do is they come here, they get all their crew members and everything because it's less expensive to produce here. They travel down here and then use part of our actors, part of our crew members, and then film and go back, right? But it doesn't mean that it's Lagos film. I'm of the opinion that we don't need to be creating those dichotomy: Lagos, Abuja, Southeast, Asaba. They all have their reasons for doing their films. If you understand the reasons and why, it's basically production cost and everything. There are high-end films that have taken place here in Enugu that are on Netflix, that are on big platforms.
All right, so looking at the role of films in shaping cultural narratives, how can we use our films to preserve our cultural heritage without also losing its value and distorting it?
Okay, first of all, you ask who are the storytellers. Most of our storytellers, most of them did not connect with their dads, did not connect with culture. Some of them have never been to the village. They don't understand some certain things. So if you watch some of my films, I try to put a culture I witnessed when I was growing up. Like, for example, two guys coming together. I always remember when my dad had guests in the house. There's this, I don't even know what it's called, but I know. There's this round wooden thing with cola nuts and with cola nuts and pepper. They pray, they talk, and then they eat and they converse. So I always try to put that so that at least you will see that, oh yeah, that's a culture in Igbo. Yeah. So it brings it to, because most times you don't just come and sit down in the house and start talking and drink champagne and wine. We didn't have that. You understand? So if the writers do research, if the writers have cultural experiences, if the writers themselves or the director and producer know this, when they see the script, they will tell the writer, please add some cultural input. With that, you don't need to throw the story away. You're just adding little cultures. Like, for example, somebody told me, there's a film I did, Izu, and the subtitler could not subtitle when the guy was Balain Afa.
Okay.
You understand? She couldn't subtitle it. So we had to go and meet the guy to see how he can subtitle what he said. You know, some of us cannot pray with the cola nut. Some of us cannot do that. Film will teach you how to do that, right? But if we don't put it in the film, we are losing. People are saying the Igbo tradition is fading away. The Igbo language is fading away. It's not just by speaking Igbo. We'll do an Igbo film full that Igbo will stay. We'll do a normal film where there's English, there's Igbo, and people enjoy the way it is. People begin to learn, English Igbo begins to come. Then from English Igbo, we can get into the proper Igbo. Yeah, so I think that's how culture can actually play a huge role in filmmaking.
So let's look at some of the, how would I put it now, some of the practices, that most movies carry out. Sometimes people complain that this is not how it is in Igbo land. And the likes of maybe giving out cola nuts, maybe the number you're supposed to have when you're receiving it, or maybe dropping the wine on the ground. Some people will rather argue it's supposed to be like this, supposed to be like that. When these movies are carried out, do you guys do any form of research? You know, find out from the elderly ones to know exactly the number of times this should be done. Talking about preserving culture, or you just think this is how it should be? Because most of these people acting, they are all the Gen Z, so to speak. So they may not really have necessarily adequate information
Yeah.
for this culture preservation.
Yeah, what you're saying is really a big problem. Of course, just as just as it is in every other business. Sorry, you know, some persons just want to shoot and make money, shoot and make money, shoot and make money. Many people don't understand the power of film. Film is just not like a business where you just roll and come, because you're bringing out images, visuals, audio visuals, where children will watch, adults will watch, and people tend to believe that. There was a film I did where I played Silas, and I came to Enugu for a project. I was not living in Enugu. I was in Owerri. And then I came to Enugu for a project, and a lady saw me at Obete and was shouting, Silas, Silas. So I didn't turn until she came and like, Silas, it's not you I'm talking to. And I said, sorry. And she started telling me that thing I did in the film was not good. So I was like, Mom, I was just acting, you know. But if we don't understand the power of film, we will do anything just for money. And it's happening. I don't subscribe to it. I don't like it. You should do research. Most of my films, when we want to go about it, we always I always ask questions. I always send my script out to people. I say, please read this thing. Check if there's any blunder. Check if there's something that I've done, that I've written, that I'm not sure, especially this part. I don't know what to say here. How do I put it correctly? So we should do research. If it means going into the village or the, I don't know, village apparently, and ask an elder, how do I do this? But you know, because of cost and time, I want to film tomorrow. Why is my script not ready? Sorry, producer, I want to go to this village and get this. He doesn't care about that. He wants to shoot tomorrow. So, and he doesn't have to give you extra fund. He doesn't have to do that. That is why when people price script writers poor, you expect shabby work. But when you pay them well, the money for their research should be included there. Yeah.
Okay, so how do films really influence the younger generations in learning their culture and also trying to understand other culture, the way it is represented?
Basically, we have our phones here. I'm sure as we are speaking, some people are watching.
Yeah.
So that's how knowledge comes, by what you hear, what you see, and then you begin to emulate. So probably, let's say they like, what actor will I use now? Let's say somebody likes Anita Mere, one female actor, and then because of that, they watch all her films.
Yeah.
By doing that, you notice they begin to act, they begin to perceive, they begin to, that's how film. So, in fact, I know for a fact that in the US, the government backs filmmaking because it projects the next narrative through film. So if, let's say by 2017, they want everybody to live driving carbon polluting cars and drive CNG, you will see a lot of films coming out to show why this is bad and this is good. So already you're changing the narratives of people, you're changing people's perspective. You see people beginning to ask, oh, so this car exists, oh, let's check it. Some people may not even know the car exists, some people may not even want to buy the car, but by the time they see this, you see people beginning to tend towards that. So filmmaking is also a policy tool. But of course, it doesn't happen immediately. Let's say in the next 2 years, you want to change a certain policy. You use films. And there's this controversy about the gay policy, you know. Nobody is accepting it, but yet there are some people sponsoring films that is gay and all that, and it's going. So yes, that's how films influence people who watch it. So let's say we do cultural-based films. We're already influencing people with culture. Now, not just Igbos, Yorubas, Hausa. So an Hausa will understand that, oh, so when an Igbo man does this, oh, it doesn't really mean trouble. This is what he's saying. Because I think the issue with the tribal war is a huge gap of misunderstanding. So if through our films we can get to understand each other, each tribe, very well, I think there will be a lot of peace going on. Yeah.
Yeah, this thing you just said now is just like the foreign people, the white and black movies. Most black movies, they tend to narrate how white people treat them that they don't like and how it should be. And some whites to narrate how they expect black to respond to some of their things. So that way, people like us that are watching from afar, you understand that, oh, this is how these people behave. And if we get there, this is how we expected to behave as well.
Yeah.
That's really, really great. Then let's look at the costume, in acting. It's a lot. We know finance is a big deal to really give you what you want. But there was a movie I watched, I think sometime, either last week or 2 weeks ago, where the queen of one village like that in the east, for her forehead, may I just pigeon, for her forehead, they write queen. She carry one gilly like that. They write, the design is queen on the forehead. It was looking, I'm sorry if the word to use is egbotic, but you know what I mean when I say egbotic. It wasn't giving queen prestige, but it was giving local, So, whose fault is it?
I mean, it's obvious she's a queen. Why do you have to write queen on her head?
If it was well done, that would have been a different case. I know they're trying to bring, make a statement,
creativity,
give her that thing. There would also the queen is here. But the message she's sending is not really giving. So whose fault is it? Is it the producer that is sponsoring it? No, let's not blame the producer. At least he believes that the right people are there to take care of it. Is it the director? I don't know. Is it that the director's aim is to make sure that the actors are acting well? Or should the director also be concerned with the costume as a director? I don't know.
No, the director is the overall creative head on set.
Okay.
So when you say whose fault is it, of course to me it's the director, because there's that same film I told you I did, Izu. There's a way we wanted her to look. So the makeup artist was like, because of time, let me just do this. And I told her, okay, your problem is time, right? Well, you give me what I want. She said yes. I said good. I had to reschedule other shoots to give her like extra time. Go. Do what I want you to do. Let us see. And when she came, everybody liked it. In fact, by the time we were done with the film and watching it, everybody shouted, wow, the girl was like the spectacle of the film. Nice. The film is not out, but it's coming up. But I've worked with other directors and I've seen the same thing. There's a director I work with closely, Okochukwu, so we work together. I have seen him tell even the costumier that this shirt is not what I want on my set. Change the shirt. The shirt. So I know that directors are supposed to be the head, but I won't blame them totally, not because I am a director, but because even you, costumier, even you, hair, makeup artist, and all, you should also know and be creative. First thing I do is, when I tell you I need this girl's hair to look like a 1970s hair, I want to be sure that you have searched hairstyle in 1970.
Yeah.
And you have seen several ones. And maybe you have picked one easy one and seen how to modify it to fit the film. So the director shouldn't do every single thing, even though, yes, he is. But you are the head of that, create the hair. Let us see your work. Let the director not come and say, okay, this is the kind of hair I want it to look like and everything. Even though sometimes most of the problem is because we don't plan well. We don't have pre-production meetings. Because when we do pre-production meetings, I should be able to have poured out my idea on the makeup and the hair. And then she will tell you, sir, this kind of hair is not meant to be on this. This kind of hair is not 1950. This kind of hair is not. So we have that argument and we reach an agreement. And then when we come on set, you give me something that is work, that is real. Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. So let's look at globalization and how it has affected the authenticity of storytelling in film. How has it really affected? Are we still able to preserve our culture even when globalization is taking place?
I think we have a lot of low self-esteem. I think that's in film. I think that's my issue, because most of us, you can never be more American than an American.
Yeah.
So I think most of my colleagues always want to do films where you see actors start speaking, you know, man, yo. When you do that, unless you're doing a comedy or there's
You're pushing a narrative.
narrative.
Yeah.
But I think we should be original. Yeah? Let's do our film. We can add, in fact, globalization, before we didn't used to have this, so this is enough globalization. So imagine if you bring in cars, which is foreign made, you bring in some foreign things, but you still put in our own locally made things and we are natural in our state. And that is why most times people will be like, do they have this kind of houses in Africa? Do they have this? Because they don't know. They always think that we have mud houses and all that, because most of the other true cultural films we do, we think it is only when we show that we are wearing this and wearing mud house, that is the true Africanism. They believe that all these other ones, we are trying to be like them. But they fail to understand that we are actually like that. So we should do a film that shows that this is us. This is my ube, you understand? So it's not colored to fit you. This is the way we live, and this is how it is. I think if we do that, and if we correct the low self-esteem or the ideology of everybody wants to the US is better, I want to do this, I want to be like them, I want to be better. I think if we come out and say, oh, this is me and this is how I want to be, I think more films would be purely original and Nigerian and African in a larger scale. And we will not be worried when the white man comes and says, oh, I don't understand what is happening. Yeah, don't worry, watch it again and watch it of course, some of their films, I watched Tenet, I didn't understand it. I've watched it 3 times and I'm like, okay.
What is going on here?
So, yeah, I think.
So let's look at one of the, let's say, the major challenges that you face as a movie director, you know, because it's a lot, you know. It takes those that understand what you're doing to manage the way they criticize the work directors do.
Yeah.
For those that don't have the idea, they can just quickly jump into this doesn't make sense, but they won't know the lapses and the things you must have put together to make it make sense. So what are those challenges as movie director that you face? Okay,
the longest challenge we have had over time is finance. So it has been overemphasized. Whoever wants to finance, please come. Film is not for the weak. It's not so easy. But I think the major challenge is many producers and many financiers now do not give directors the opportunity to create. Okay, they give you a job, they tell you have 3 days to finish. They tell you have 4 days to finish. And you looking at it already know that at least 10 days. And they're telling you 4 days. So you begin to rush, cut things, and so most times you'll be like, I'm not even interested in filming right now. Let's wait till the right one comes. So I think that, to me, is my major challenge, because most times I just sit down in the house and do other things or go and shoot passion projects while we wait for a proper film setting to come where they will allow you to be creative.
Right. So still looking at the role of film, you know, in shaping cultural narratives, do you think the Nigerian movies are doing a lot in shaping these narratives, cultural narratives, so that people from the other world will understand how things, you know, play out around us? Because it seems the other movies you see, just like in the music industry, most of the songs you hear is just about a lady and a guy, money, lady and guy, you know, stuff like that. Do you think this industry, the movie industry, they're really pushing, you know, the narratives, cultural narratives out there?
I would say yes, but I would also say they are not pushing the culture that ought to be pushed. Because just like you said now, any song is money, women, and if you see the society, you will see that even 15-year-old girls now are desiring men, and I'm like, I don't understand. So whether I like it or not, It is what they see. That is what is happening.
Yeah.
But if and I think this is happening because the Nigerian government has not supported. Maybe they are supporting, yeah, but they should come in. They should be strategic. Film is a policy, guys. In the next 3 years, I want us to end tribal war. Right? We'll give you this amount of money. You will see that 70% of the films that will come out that year would be explaining to you why a Yoruba man behaves the way he behaves, why an Igbo man behaves the way he behaves, why an Hausa man behaves the way he behaves. And you see that the next generation will see an Hausa man and say, my brother, how are you? Why? Because over time, he has seen films that have changed his mindset. Right? But now, everybody you see is Yahoo to make money. I need the next fine girl. Yahoo to make money, or man, anybody now, people don't want to volunteer to do work. Once you call them, let's do work, how much are you going to pay me? Because the only thing they think about is the paper and the girl. And funny enough, once they get the money, they get a girl, spend it, and it's finished. They go back again, and that is what the society has become because of the narrative the film is pushing. But if films can, I'm not saying that all of films do that.
Yeah.
Some films are good and nice, but of course just few in the whole ocean. But imagine where you have a lot of films pushing good values, pushing
The right
narrative. You will see the society aligning.
All right.
Yeah.
It's just as you mentioned tribal war. Let's talk about how some tribes are being misrepresented outside there. You see a movie, people always think that the Igbo man is greedy. They're always out for themselves. They're selfish. They'll do anything just to get that money or whatever it is. Why do we have movies that promote a culture in a specific way and not in a different way that they ought to be seen, but in a particular way? Just whenever I hear about an Igbo man, it's as if, those people that are always greedy. So why is it always like that?
And to add to that, the narrative also is that the typical Igbo man will be local, uneducated, and very rich, which makes it look like Igbo men are more uneducated.
Focused on money,
yes, they're all money
than
oriented
getting education.
And, yeah.
Well, it still boils down to what I said. It is the only narrative they have. And then when you bring a Yoruba scriptwriter to write a story and there's an Igbo character there, that's the only thing he knows about Igbo character, and then he creates that character. But imagine where he actually comes down and does a research and find out about Igbos, and he sees how different it is. And then, but another problem is, if I do an Igbo man as a good man, how many people will watch it? Igbos are 1/3 of, let me just say, the 3 languages we have. So my market is supposed to be the the entire tribe. So if I'm selling a narrative that everybody knows, that means both I'll make more money if I sell the Igbo man with a narrative that you know. Imagine if you know that the road to Abuja is through Nsukka, and that's the only road you know. Meanwhile, you don't know that they've opened the road that from Ebonyi to Taraba to Abuja is shorter. You would never tell people to go through that road. You will keep going through this one because you would make more money. Because immediately I tell you, let's pass through that short road, you start telling me, this one no far like that one. How much you say you charge me again for that one? No, reduce, you get. So they don't want to lose money. They want the audience to still continue with that stereotype, and then they now keep pouring that kind of stereotype out. But I can tell you, it will be difficult to change it because we don't have the manpower. If we had like a backing, and we have a lot of people that come out with a lot of films. Let's say in the next 1 year, we have like 12, 20 films.
Popular ones.
Popular ones that change the narrative of who an Igbo man is.
Yeah.
I can bet you the next year, anybody who writes a story that an Igbo man is non-educated and rich may not sell as much.
Okay.
Right.
So let's look at the agencies. We have the DGN, the AGN, so many of them, the actors, the guilds that fall under the umbrella of Nollywood films. What are they really doing to correct some of these vices?
Well, I won't say I can speak for them because I know they are, but I know I'm a member of both DGN and AGN.
Okay.
And I know that in DGN we have a lot of trainings, we have a lot of master classes where they teach you how to make films. And we have Ugezu, who does a lot of tribal and cultural based films. We have Aboki, who is in the north, who does a lot of northern films too. So, like I said, these are like singled out persons who do films that come out.
Okay.
But when you go to the normal YouTube, the normal African Magic, most of them, you see that love is what is selling. Everybody just want to do a love-based film, and then when you want to do a love-based film, man, you have to polish your voice, you have to speak this, and then the next time, why would you, rich big girl, love one Igbo on you understand? So I think love is what everybody is just circling around. But if the wind blows everybody to culture, which I know will soon happen, because even those in the white are coming to collect stories from us, understand our culture, write stories, and then keep. By that time, you'll know that we would have to sit up.
All right, so let's look at finance. You made mention how finance is one of the challenges, for the movie industry. Now, the thought of the government, financing the movie industry, do you think that will monopolize the way movies should be done, or do you think it's a welcoming idea?
Yeah, of course, it's a welcome idea, but it should not monopolize the way film is done. There should be a strategic, there should be a sunk fund for film and narratives. There should be a fund set aside for that, not to control them, let them run it. And the major problem about finance is not just getting money to film, is distributing of that film. Before now, I think one of the only persons that gives us like the highest distribution is Netflix. We have Amazon,
Movie Box, many of them.
Yeah, I don't know if Movie Box is actually.
Okay, no, they don't. I don't think they take Nigerian films.
Oh, okay. So I don't know, but I know that there are a lot of persons, but most of them have left. I know Netflix left, Amazon too. So we have just Showtime, Prime Time. That Prime Time. What they call African Magic, Rock TV. But Rock also has like limitations. If you're not their producer, they don't, because they quality control and all. Okay. So you see, these are the only people we have, and you have a lot of filmmakers. So where do you sell? And that's why you see YouTube is now the home for where films are. So if the government can create a distribution channel, or establish distributors, you understand, and that is quite simple. It could just mean we are losing the community theater, we are losing in fact, people don't go to cinemas anymore because it's quite expensive and it's not the feeling we want to have. We want to be able to just go sit down and the film is playing and people are just eating, and then you're watching, you're eating, you're watching, you're eating. So you may not necessarily come to pay for the film, but when you're paying for things around, it allows you to sit, watch, and then that money transits into the person that owns that film, take, and then you, the owner, can say, well, guys, come and watch. So your family comes and watch, sit with you, laugh with you, and tell you how what you did is awesome or not awesome, whichever the case is, and monies are exchanging hands. And then we should be able to have more international sales.
Okay.
Of people, of distributors coming in to say, okay, let's get, I think, I know some film festivals create that room where international bodies come in and see your film, like it, and then they work with you. So if we can increase distribution, you understand, to accommodate more persons, I think the film industry would also boom. But if the government should let it go out of line, they would not be able to control the narrative. And that is why people may not know the next norm that would happen in Nigeria.
All right, so one last question from my end. It's the challenge of paying casts, especially the up and comings. We've heard stories whereby people are underpaid because they're not popular, and they are given roles that should be paid well for. You understand? And I want to believe from there are cases of poor quality actors coming in because you don't want to pay much or maybe you don't have the money to even pay to start with. How can that be managed? Could that be one of the reasons rather, why we have actors that are not really interpreting the roles given to them?
I think when you have a good director that's just a cast director or a producer, I think this challenge has been discussed several times, because everybody is looking at the popular faces so that they can sell their film.
Yeah.
But now, if you don't have money for the popular faces, you can still do a good film by getting good actors that are not popular. You have to find them. You have to train them. You have to mold them to become that actor that you want them to be. And when you're done and your film comes out, it's still a good film.
Yeah.
But the challenge is, we have 10 million to do a film. You pay one actor 8 million. Because you feel when you get him, you need to sell your film, and then you bring everybody, you now start bullying everybody to collect 5,000, 10,000, and they're not happy, and they won't give you what you're supposed to get.
Yes.
So I think that affects it. There should be a balance. First of all, even the Bible says, before you sit down and count the cost. So if you know you don't have that money to pay everybody well, don't do it. Rather, you take off the star actors, because you don't have the capacity to pay them. You bring in, find actors that are just up and coming, that are good. Give them that opportunity. When you give them that opportunity and they deliver, when your film comes out and people see it, people will still appreciate your film, because it is your story that tells. In the long run, it is not the people's face that people watch, actually. It is the script and the act that transforms the face to you. It is when you have seen what the person has gone through, you begin to feel for the person. Tomorrow when you see that person's face, you say, because of the film you watch, you want to see what she will do in this one. So that is how she becomes a star. But if you don't give them, we have stereotype actors that is the same thing they act, the same thing they act, the same thing. We are tired of seeing them. I'm not saying they are not good, but fine, bring somebody else. That person may bring a different niche. Find somebody else, find somebody else. By the time you do that, we have more actors coming up. And the truth is, when these more actors come up, the cost of these other ones who charge a lot will come down. Because the competition has increased. Yes. Because if I can get an actor that is as good as you for 1 million and you're still charging 8 million, you may not work for a long time. You understand?
All right, thank you so much, young Chimezere Charles, movie director. Thank you for your time and all the wealth of knowledge you shared with us tonight. Thank you.
Save Nature TV, news in your pocket.